Nou, goeiedag allemaal. Ik ben Irma Kromhout en ik zit hier in Santa Rosa op het 10 dagen programma van Dr. McDougall. En ik heb de gelegenheid gekregen om Dr. McDougall wat vragen te stellen. Dus ik ga nu over in het Engels. Welcome Dr. McDougall. I'm glad that I have the possibility to interview you.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Okay. Yeah, in the Netherlands, there are a lot of people who follow you, and we have on Facebook the group, the Starch Solution, the Netherlands. So
hopefully everybody's getting good results, and they don't have to just believe me. They really understand it works.
Yeah, a lot of people do that, and we have to learn the people more and more. So we try that, and therefore I have some questions for you. So, first our question is, what kind of patients do you normally have?
Oh, I take care of pretty much everybody off the street. We in this resort that we're in, you could go down to the lobby, and you could sit there in the lobby and watch people walk in the hotel, the resort, and you'd say, that person needs to be in the McDougall program, that person should be in the program. Almost everybody in Western society is sick. I mean, no, let me just say it again. Everybody in Western society, be it in the Netherlands, Canada, Australia, the United States, everybody's sick. And you see it in the fact that 3/4 of the people are overweight or obese. They're dying of heart disease, and they have constipation and indigestion. I mean, basically everybody's sick. The few exceptions are those people who've learned a healthy starch-based diet. So what kind of patients do I take? Well, pretty much everybody off the street, because they're all ill. But specifically, I would give it some names that I particularly enjoy taking care of in terms of illnesses. I mean, it's food poisoning. That's the illness,
yeah.
Food poisoning. But we call it heart disease, atherosclerosis, or coronary artery disease. We call it type 2 diabetes. We call it high blood pressure, constipation, indigestion, multiple sclerosis, rheumatoid arthritis. Those kinds of people I take care of. And they get well. People get well. If you look at it from the point of view of food poisoning, then you can understand why people get well. They're being food poisoned by animal foods, which is dairy, meat, pork chops, eggs, cheese, and vegetable oils, like corn oil, safflower oil, flaxseed oil, olive oil. They're being food poisoned. Once you remove the food poison, then of course you have to put something in its place, which is starch, like rice and corn and potatoes and sweet potatoes. Then people are cured of the food poisoning. It's no more complex than that. That's what it is food poisoning.
Okay, thank you. Dus all kinds of people can come to you.
Oh,
and do come.
We take care of all kinds of people, and who would not be appropriate? Well, this is the diet of human beings. So if you're not a human being, you shouldn't. It's what people are supposed to eat. It's so basic, stupid, simple.
Yeah.
That once you see it, it's just like, who should not breathe clean air? Well, everybody should breathe clean air. And who should not drink clean water? Well, that's silly. Everybody should drink clean water.
Yeah.
And who should not eat clean food? Well, the answer is everybody should be eating clean food, which is, potatoes and sweet potatoes and corn and things like that.
Yeah. Do you think we have too much choices at the moment?
Too much choices. Well, we certainly do have a lot of choices, and those choices are controlled, and the reason we have them is because industry wants to sell products. It's just business. Do we have too much choice? Well, in a way we do. We don't have enough regulation. We certainly don't have enough education. We don't have enough control of those industries that are potentially harmful to people, such as the medical industry and the pharmaceutical industry and the food industries. So yeah, too much choice every place, I would say. However, we all want freedom.
Yeah.
It's just that you shouldn't allow children to be hurt because of freedom, and that's what's happening.
Okay. Are people always immediately losing weight when they start the program?
Well, most people lose weight, but not everybody when they come to the program. Some people come to the program already thin. They come to the program having been on the diet. Some people come to the program being malnourished because they're sick. And these people may often take in more food. After all, we serve 15-course meals 3 times a day. We give people 3 hours a day to eat. So eating is a big part of the program. Our goal is not to see how much weight they can lose in 10 days. Our goal is to get them over food poisoning. And people who are overweight, they always adjust to a more normal weight. Now, what's more normal weight? Well, you know, the body's designed to carry around a few extra pounds, maybe 5 or 10 to get ready for that famine, but not 50 or 100 or 70 pounds are they designed to carry around. So once you stop the food poisoning, people do lose the weight. But initially, we have a few people who gain a little weight.
Yeah. And how long does it take that they have success, that the weight will come down?
How long does it take?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes from the first day people lose weight.
Yeah.
We had one person in this program in 5 days lost 10 pounds. However, that was mostly water.
Yes, of course.
So what is the usual weight loss in overweight people now? Not in trim people, but in overweight people, the average weight loss is about a half a pound a day.
Yeah, but what I meant was when they gain a little bit weight, how long does it take that they are going to
you mean
lose
people
weight?
who come here already following the diet or come here pretty
Yeah,
trim?
or when they start a diet and they don't lose weight immediately because they are
Usually it happens when they
malnourished.
get home and they stop getting 15-course meals 3 times a day.
That's a
When
lot.
they start eating simple, they use their weight. But you're not going to lose too much weight. I mean,
No.
here I am, I'm 67 years old, I weigh 158 pounds, and I'm almost 6 feet tall. If I was any thinner, you would think there was something wrong with my program.
Yes, that's
So
right.
there's a certain body weight that people attain, and they're supposed to be able to attain that weight, and maybe even put on a couple extra pounds to get ready for the winter famine. The right diet should keep you not too thin, but not too fat either. Just
Yes.
kind of in that nice range.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. What are you give for advice if people feel bloated when they start this program?
Generally, if people feel bloated, they just need to be patient. The bowels have to start working. A good share of our patients, their bowels don't move hardly at all. They're terribly constipated. And it takes a while to flush out the old food, about 4 to 7 days, and put in the new food. And then you always have the problem with bloating of beans. Our diet can emphasize beans just because people like them, not because you need the protein. But if you eat a lot of beans, peas, and lentils, there are a couple of sugars in there that are hard to digest, and they always cause gas in people. So generally all that settles down within about 2 to 4 weeks.
Okay. Why do you limit the fruits?
Well, the reason I limit the fruits is fruits taste really good. And a lot of our patients are here to lose weight, and if I let them eat fruit without any limitation, some of them would eat 15, 20, 25 fruits in the morning. And that wouldn't be easy on their weight loss. Plus, it would all that simple sugar would cause their triglycerides to go up, which may not be a problem, but it would worry them. And I think fruit should be as a dessert. I think 1 to 3 fruits a day is plenty.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Why do you advise to eat enough starches? So I meant don't eat tons of greens.
See, as people try and get healthier, they try and solve illnesses, they try and be kind to animals, maybe even their thoughts of environment, which would be misdirected if they thought they should eat non-starchy green and yellow vegetables, because those are not necessarily environmentally friendly. They're very costly to grow. When people start getting interested in vegetarian eating or vegan eating, they often think that what they're supposed to eat is kale and broccoli and cauliflower. And they're disappointed, they're discouraged when they eat those kinds of food as the bulk of their meals because they're hungry, they're not getting enough calories. There's an awful lot of fiber, they overbulk their intestines, they'll often get crampy and bloaty from eating those kinds of food. But the main thing is they're just never satisfied. And the reason is these non-starchy green, yellow, orange, and red vegetables are very low calorie. You'd have to eat 11 to 25 pounds of cabbage a day to get enough calories. It's just too bulky. Nobody ever lived off those non-starchy green and yellow vegetables. You need to have energy. You must have energy to keep the cells working, to move your body around. And to get that energy, you must have a reliable source. And that source has always been starch. Sweet potatoes, potatoes in South America, rice in Asia, bread in the Middle East, potatoes in Ireland. You know, it's always been some kind of starchy vegetable that maintained the population and individuals.
Okay. What are the common faults when people start to the starch solution?
Common faults or
Yeah,
failings?
Failings, or what do they wrong when they start?
Mainly, it's really hard to get people into the concept of starch. Even though I teach it every day, I still see them bulk up on salads, and they're not going to do well. The other thing that people have trouble getting over is the idea that you need this very complex meal plan with, you know, a salad and a soup and a side dish and a main dish, and you need all this complexity and variety all day long and all week long, and that's not true. You need to find yourself a simple diet plan like sweet potatoes and broccoli, beans and rice and kale, just you know, a soup, a favorite soup you like, and some bread. That should be what you eat 2 or 3 times a day. Same monotonous, simplistic food over and over again. It's hard for people to get over that. For a few people, it's hard to get them used to the idea that it's okay to eat a little salt and sugar. Makes the food taste much better. They've always been educated to think that sugar is the poison, and it's not health food. And salt is the cause of heart disease and strokes. You know, too much salt can be a problem, but a little salt's okay. So it's kind of hard to get people around that issue too. So those are the main things.
Yeah.
And also, to get people to understand that this is serious business, this diet stuff. They take it with kind of a frivolous attitude, and they say, well, I'm going to be better. I'm going to cut down. And it never works. It's like a heroin addict cutting down, or a cocaine addict cutting down, or a tobacco or an alcoholic addicted person cutting down. You can't do it. You must make a clear, distinct, definite change. And people have a hard time getting that in their mind, that this is so serious that they should not ever touch. Not that they couldn't handle it. I mean, the body would handle it. Their mind won't. It's so serious that they just can't touch animal foods and oils again, because they can't control themselves. No. It's like I say, an addict or an alcoholic. If they have one, then they're back into their old habit. People have to get that concept too. It's hard for them.
Yeah.
Once they do, then they got it.
And you say you have to eat enough starches, and starches has to be the main
Starch
course.
Should be 60 to 95% of your meal.
But in your maximum weight loss book, you wrote first you have to eat your salad and your soup, and then you have to eat your starches.
I have to admit, I have been sympathetic to the weight loss community. And 20-some years ago, they asked me to write a book dedicated to greater, faster weight loss. And I set down some rules, which we still teach with some reservation, that to lose weight faster, instead of, say, 80-90% of your diet starch and the rest fruits and non-starchy vegetables, I suggested 75% be starch and 25% be salads, kale, broccoli, and so on. That's the maximum weight loss program. When people get to 50-50, half starch, half green and yellow vegetables, they should be starting to get worried that they're not going to get satisfied and they're not going to stay on the diet. So it's always a starch-dominant diet.
Yeah. Okay. How do you work with people who are afraid to eat the starch or eat more starch?
Well, that's people who are afraid to eat starch. Just have to, I guess, appeal to their logic and intelligence. You know, you just tell them. You tell them about all of human history. You ask them to find any fat Asians living on rice, and they can't. It's a challenge to what they've always believed. It's not that it's easy, but you have to use the basics. Maybe even challenge them with their religious teachings.
Mm-hmm. When do we see you in the Netherlands?
I was in the Netherlands once in 1993, and I enjoyed your country very much. And I would love to come back. It would be one of the places in the world I'd come back to. When you will see me there is when your medical association asks, how do we get all our fat, sick countrymen and women well? How do we stop child abuse in our country, making our children fat and sick with this rich Netherlands food? Why don't we ask Dr. McDougall to come over and teach us medical doctors and dietitians how to save our country and fellow countrymen and women? That's when I'll be there. Until then, watch me on Skype.
Do you think they will ask you? It's all business, you said already, so I think they don't.
There is a chance for sanity to strike the world.
Yeah.
Right now, it doesn't seem like it will, but who knows? I never put any possibility out of mind.
Yeah. Is there something else you want to say to the people in the Netherlands?
You folks have always led the world in literature and renewable energies. Why don't you lead the world in food? You know, why not decide, because we're a very well-educated population with a good economic standard, that what we're going to do is we're going to make a change as a whole country, show the rest of the world that not only can we be environmentally friendly in terms of our energy demands, but we'll be environmentally friendly in terms of our food. Yeah, why don't you do that?
Okay, we will try. I thank you very much for your interview and for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah.